What's up, guys? Welcome back for another one. Today's going to be an awesome day. Today we are going to talk about waterfowl hunting on a budget. So whether you're new to waterfowl hunting or you've been hunting for years and you're looking for some cheap solutions to add things to your hunt and what you carry with you and gear and such, stay tuned because this video is for you. I got to run around the house, get all my stuff picked up, get it put in a pile, get it put out to the studio I have outside set up, and we're going to have a good video for you coming today. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. Alright guys, I got everything all picked up around the house. Again, today's video we're going to be talking about waterfowl hunting on a budget. So, as most of you guys know, if you've been hunting for years or you're just now getting into it, everything with waterfowl hunting is expensive. Waders, blind bags, decoys especially, ways to carry your decoys, your shotguns, the ammunition you use. Everything is so expensive. So today we are going to go through the simple things that I use and the cheapness that I am, because I'm a cheap one. Keeping it cheap and simple, guys. You don't have to go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on decoys and, you know, the top brand Avian X's. And yeah, they look great and they've got the flocked heads and the full body, you know, hidden decoys and stuff. And all that stuff is great. And yeah, it might make your hunt better, but you don't have to use it. And today I'm going to talk to you about why. So let's start this video off with what I use for a blind bag. Now, currently, I am using my wife's deer hunting backpack. Yeah, it's pink on it. That's what I used last year. It's not waterproof or anything like that. Basically, it just sits on the floor in the blind, and I keep stuff in it. My licenses, I keep shells, you know, things like that. I am going to get a new blind bag this year, a legitimate one, not just a book bag, simply for the fact that, you know, you're sitting in the blind, or if you have to set in water, this book bag's not waterproof. So I did ruin a box of shells last year because they had gotten wet. So I am going to get a legitimate blind bag, but you don't have to have one. This was laid around the house. The wife had it. I didn't spend any money on it. I kind of colored in the pink a little bit in some spots, but it works, guys, and that's all you need is something that works for you. So let's go through what's in the blind bag. Let's see. Basic hood. It's reversible for deer hunting, but it's just a cold weather hood. Keep your head nice and warm. Keep your ears warm while you're hunting. I think this was $5 at Walmart. Not a big deal. I've got a warm weather face mask here that I actually got for Christmas from my sister. This was $3 at Walmart. So there's that. Decoy gloves. You're gonna want decoy gloves when it gets cold out, and whether you're just digging in the snow or you're setting up in a field or you're reaching down in the water retrieving ducks and picking up decoys, your hands are gonna get cold, and using normal gloves just doesn't cut it because they get wet and then your hands start to freeze. Your hands start to freeze and you can't pull the trigger on your gun, and it's just not a good time. So I picked these neoprene decoy gloves up from Amazon. I think they were $25 on Amazon. They're not a name. I don't even know the brand of them, to be honest with you. They're not a name brand. And they're elbow length, and they're perfect. They're great. They keep my hands dry, and they were cheap. So if something happens to them, I'm not that big a concern about them. I've seen decoy gloves go up to, you know, hundreds of dollars for a set of neoprene decoy gloves. These do the trick, guys. $30 on Amazon. You don't need the fancy stuff. You're only wearing them for a few minutes. These ones have touches for your phones. You can still use the phone. And actually, this glove here, you can see, I burnt a hole in it last year in the blind. So I'm going to have to get another pair. But it's okay because they're $30. Not a big deal. Moving on. What else we got in this bag here? I don't think I have too much else in here. A bandolier. Keep your shells in. This isn't one of the fancy ones that has a hand warmer and stuff in it, which you can get, and I do want to get one of those, and I probably will this year, but this is a simple shell holding bandolier. It's got the clips on it that clip to my waders, and it's got a small zipper pocket in the middle. I usually keep my smokes and stuff in there while I'm hunting, or my phone, and I bought this off a buddy for $10. I think he paid $20 for it a couple years ago. Cheap, easy, not a big deal. What else we got in here? I don't know that I have much else in here. Rigging up decoys, decoy string. This is the PVC line. Some guys like braided, some guys like PVC. I happen to use both. This PVC decoy line was, I think there's 500 feet on this roll. I picked it up at Walmart for $7. Cheap and simple. Gets the job done. That's a big thing to take into consideration here, guys, is doing what you need to do and getting the job done. My ammo bandolier, my neoprene gloves, they're cheap, but they're effective, and they work, and they do what I need them to do. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Decoy bag. I don't know why this is in my blind bag, but it is. This is a large decoy bag. There's nothing in this one. Yet, anyways. Picked it up from Amazon. They come in a 2-pack. 15 bucks, I think, for a 2-pack on Amazon. Large decoy bag. The other decoy bag that I do have decoys in, which we'll get to that in a minute, it's got 1.5 dozen mallard floaters in it. I could probably fit a couple more in there if I really wanted to. So 10 bucks, guys. Decoy bag, easy. You don't need the 6-slot bag to carry stuff in. They're big, they're bulky, they're a pain, and they're expensive. So this cheap decoy bag works great. A knife. Everyone's got to have a knife in their bag, right? This was a simple Walmart special I bought years ago when I was deer hunting. It's got a gut and hook on it. It keeps a good blade, and you never know when you're going to need a knife, so just keep a cheap knife in the blind bag. You don't have to get crazy with a fancy $80 to $100 knife. This was, I think, 20 bucks at Walmart. Easy, simple, guys. Keeping it simple. I've got another knife that I keep on the bag here. This is actually a ductwork knife. I do heating and air conditioning for a living, so I keep these on my person for work, and I thought that they would be great to have in the blind, and they really are, because when you're out doing things, it's got a serrated edge, which cuts small branches and trees all right. It's got a flat edge that holds an amazing great blade for skinning or anything else you may need. This particular one is made by Milwaukee. This was a little pricey. I think this was 40 or 50 bucks at Home Depot, because it's a multi-purpose. It's for ductwork. It's not meant for hunting. But it comes with a plastic sheath that I keep it in, and it does the trick for me. So that's about it in my blind bag. I keep hot hands and stuff in the blind bag too come season. I don't have any more in here, but cheap and simple. Moving on, let's talk decoys. Everyone knows how expensive decoys can be, and you talk to some people that say, oh, you got to have top of the line, top dollar decoys, and if you don't, the birds are going to notice and you're not going to do well, blah, 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 blah. I call BS. This is a Flambeau Stormfront decoy. They come, I ordered mine on Amazon. You can get them at Walmart. On Amazon, you can get a 6-pack for $24.99. That's 3 hens, 3 drakes, or you can get a 12-pack for, I think, $34.99. So I ordered a 6-pack and a 12-pack. They're cheap, guys. I mean, you can spend up to $150 on a half a dozen of decoys. These do the same thing. They work great. I don't have an issue with them. I hunted over them last year. I killed birds over them last year. People always say, oh, the Flambeau Stormfronts, they're shiny, they've got a glare to them. If the birds are close enough to your decoys to where they can tell that that's a fake decoy, you ought to be killing them anyways. These cheap Flambeau Stormfront decoys do great. Now, I'm not saying there's no need to go out and spend big money on decoys, because the bigger, more realistic looking decoys, you know, sometimes your birds are finicky in the late season and you got to have that stuff, and I get that. But 90% of the time, these do just fine. I've never had a problem with them. Birds flare, but they're going to flare on your decoy setup. They may have seen motion in your blind. They don't like the way your decoys are sitting. I mean, you never know. But these do just fine, guys, and they're cheap, easy to get a hold of, free shipping on Amazon, $34.99 for a dozen. You can't beat it. Let's talk about the way I have these now rigged, because I'm cheap with that too. You've got your Texas rigs out there. You've got 1,000,001 different ways to rig decoys. I kept it simple. 7-ounce lead weight. That's flexible. You know, you can bend it and do what you need to do with it. I got a 6-pack of these from Walmart again. 12 bucks for a 6-pack, I think, which isn't bad. I got a spool of braided line. I use both braided and PVC that just sit wrapped up on the keel. Like I said, a 100-foot spool or a 500-foot spool of that was $7 at Bass Pro, I think. So I didn't spend big bucks on, you know, you can spend 30, 40 bucks on a Texas rig setup for 12 mallards, and you know, if you got 3-4 dozen decoys, that adds up just in rigging. So I kept it simple. That works perfect for me. When we're out, I can take off the, you know, unloop the weight from the keel. Depending on how deep of water I'm set, I can rope out however much cord I want. Boom! See you later. They're set, they're done, they're gone. And you know, you guys, you get into these big expensive decoys with the flocked heads and the fully flocked bodies and the realistic looking feathers and stuff on it. That's great, but they're gonna get beat up, and you can't prevent it. You just can't. You know, you're throwing decoys, you may wind up shooting one. Birds are gonna fall from the sky and hit them. They're in the elements, they're bouncing around in the back of the truck. They're gonna get beat up. So if these things get beat up, I don't care. So that's just the way it is. I'm gonna get some expensive decoys to add to the spread, but I'm not gonna go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on them. And you don't have to. So that's moving on from the decoys. Again, the bag that I was talking about, dozen and a half mallards in that bag. You don't really want to carry more than that because it's heavy, so that works out great for me. One thing a lot of people don't realize, or maybe you do realize, is motion in the decoys is key. And actually, I have a goose flag that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I forgot to grab and bring out here. But I got it off of Amazon. It folds out, it's got clips on it, it's all black. You shake it up, you do your thing, and it was 25 bucks on Amazon. They've got a couple on there that actually look like goose feathers and stuff, and those are 30, 40 bucks. But my buddy Paul, he grabbed a piece of plastic, cut it into the shape of a wings, stuck it onto a tent pole actually, zip tied it to a tent pole, and just sticks it up in the air and shakes it. And we used that all year last year, and it worked great, and it didn't cost him nothing. It was out of stuff he had laying around the house. So again, guys, you don't have to go out and spend 50 bucks on a goose flag. It just, you know, a gun case can work. You know, if you've got a black gun case and you've got your gun out, obviously, and you know, you see geese off in the distance, you want to get their attention, just stick that gun case up in the air and give it a shake. You don't have to get crazy with it. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the way I like to do it. And you know, the more crazy gear you get, you know, your Mojos, your Ripplers, you got ice eaters, you've got the Lucky Ducks and all this other stuff, the more time you spend on making sure that crap is working, and you spend less time hunting, in my opinion. So moving on with the motion and keeping motion in the decoys, I can't take any credit for this next bit. I got this from Bobby Guy Films. Check out his page, or his channel on YouTube, Bobby Guy Films. If you look under what I'm subscribed to, I subscribe to him, and this idea came from him, and it is freaking genius. I built this out of everything I had laying around the house. So this is a DIY, cheap, simple, easy jerk rig. So essentially, I've got a piece of 1/2-inch PVC here. And the end of it that I've painted black, except for the bottom, because this half's going to be down in the water. At the end of it, I have cut it into a 45 so it pierces down in the water nice and easy. We keep a rubber mallet in the blind, so I'll be able to smack it down in. Drilled a couple holes in the end of it and tied string to it. This is a roll of decoy string that had, I think there's probably 250 feet left on it. So tie it to your PVC, stick your PVC down in the water, into the silt, into the sand bottom, wherever you're hunting. We're gonna get this rolled out here. It's a lot easier to roll out when it's actually set, and I'm not doing it like this, but it's okay. Like I said, Bobby Guy Films, I got this idea from him, and it works great. He actually, in his video, he demonstrates how well it works and step-by-step process on how to build it. I'm not going to do that because that's, you know, that's his thing. I'm going to show you what it looks like at the finished product. If you don't believe me, check out his video, and he actually gets it set up in the water, and you can see how well it moves. So basically, the 1/2-inch PVC, painted black. This is redhead camo braided decoy line. Again, from Bass Pro, I think it was $8. I used it to rig all my deeks, and then what I had left over I used for this setup. I went down to the old hardware store and I picked up a metal stringer for fishing. This just your metal fish stringer. You know, it comes on a chain and all that stuff. I took everything off took them all off the chain. Now I had to paint it black because they're shiny, and you don't want shininess while you're hunting. So I went down and did that. I picked up I think there's 6 of them on here, 6 or 8. And then once your string is rolled all the way out, you just take loops and you just tie loops into it, and you hook your stringers, you know, your stringer hooks, up on your loop. And you just space them out however you want, whatever you think is going to work for you. You know, you just get them spaced. Yeah, a big gap in this one. I might have to change that up. Just getting them spaced. I think I said there's 5 or 6 on here, maybe even 7, I don't know. Oh, big gaps on these. Okay, so that is set up out in the water, away from your duck blind. Take your spool with you, bring it back to the duck blind with you. Leave it on the spool because the distance that you may be away from your blind could change, you know, based on wind direction and everything else. You get that thing strung out, you get that pole beat down in the water, you take your decoys, clip them into the stringer, clip the stringer back on, and let them sit. You don't drop your weights, you just let them sit there because they're attached to the line, which one end of you have at the spool in the blind, the other end you have on your PVC pole, which is out in the water. Excuse me. And that's it. That's all it takes. PVC has a natural bend to it. So as this is out in the water and your line is tight and you've got your deeks tied up to it, when you're in the blind, all you got to do is pull on this. It's going to flex the PVC, let it go. The PVC is going to flex back to the way it was, and your deeks are going to move around and spin around. I tried this setup. It's perfect. If you don't believe me, you can check out Bobby Guy Films. Like I said, I got the idea from him. He's got a nice, good how-to video on how to do it, and it works great. And when you're done, you just sit here, get her rolled up, and it doesn't really ever tangle, which is nice, and it's portable, and it fits in the back of the truck, and it's really no big deal. Cheap, easy, simple. Like I said, guys, I spent $4 on this because I had to buy a stringer from the hardware store. When you're done with it, you take your spool, set it on top of your PVC, and you're done. You're good to go. It's ready for the next time. So that's that. That's 2 easy ways to add motion to your decoys. Amazon does have a Rippler butt up duck that's relatively cheap that I just did order, so hopefully that works too. It's just a butt up decoy, and it takes batteries. You turn the switch on and it ripples, and that should work well too. So 2 cheap ways to add decoys or motion to your deeks. What else I got laying around here? Waders. If you hunt ducks in the water, you gotta have waders. It gets cold. You don't want to be wading in the water in your shorts because it's freaking cold, and that would just be stupid. So waders can be crazy expensive as well. $300, $400, $500, $600. I got this set in the middle of the season last year on clearance from Cabela's. $180. That's right, $180. These are a size 12 stout. I'm a bigger individual. These are a Cabela's brand. I got these from Cabela's, and they're simple, they're effective, and they do the job. They fit me a little tight because one, I'm just a big individual, and it's hard for big guys to find waders. I believe these are, let's see if it says, I want to say they're, it doesn't say the thinsulate in them. I want to say they're like 600. It's not the greatest, I know that. But you layer up underneath it. I wear a pair of long johns and sweatpants underneath with some wool socks, and you're good. You know, you throw a coat on over top you, and that's all it takes. And these were 100, like I said, $179.99 on sale at Cabela's. Picked them up in the middle of the season last year because I didn't start hunting until the middle of the season, and they've worked perfect for me. They haven't leaked so far. They didn't leak at all last year. Hopefully when I go to use them this year, they don't leak. I've been storing them in the basement. So cheap waders, guys. You've got your headgear, you know, and you just layer up. If you go to Bass Pro or Cabela's and you look in their clearance section, you can find pullovers and hoodies and jackets that may be last year's camo style, or maybe it's not a Waterfowl camo. Maybe it's a Mossy Oak Breakup camo or Realtree Max 5 camo or something. It's going to be on clearance. It's going to be cheap. Pick it up and use it. Them ducks don't care if you're wearing a waterfowl pattern or not. If you're covered properly, it doesn't even matter if you're wearing camo. So take advantage of the clearance section, guys. I picked up a pullover hoodie that I wear every time I hunt from Bass Pro last year. It was the middle of the season. I went up there for something. I forget what it was. I think I was looking at handguns. And I was just browsing through the clearance section, found a pullover hoodie that was actually did happen to be waterfowl camo. In my size. Originally it was like a $125 hoodie. I got it for $40. I wear it every time I hunt. I got it on clearance, and it's just the way it is. Now this year I need to buy a nice big floofy coat. I don't want to spend $300 on a Sitka jacket. I don't want to spend $250 on a Drake jacket. So again, watch some clearance sales and see what you can find. Last year I used a black Carhartt just work coat, and it worked fine. It did okay for me. I'd like to get an actual camo coat this year, so that's what I'm going to do. If you guys watched the video previous to this one, I went over the Hatfield shotgun review, and that is going to be, this is going to be the last little tidbit of keeping it cheap and simple for hunting. I did a review on this shotgun in my last video, so if you want to go through and look at that, you can. A little prelude or a little post after that video. When I did the review on this Hatfield shotgun, I had not yet shot it when I did that video last weekend. I went out and put 250 rounds through this thing. Flawless. So back to the budget wise, this shotgun is a 3-inch chambered semi-automatic 12 gauge. 3-inch semi-automatic 12 gauge. Nice gun, 28-inch barrel. $280 before tax. It's a budget gun, but it works, and it may not last me 2, 3, 4 years. I may only get a season out of it, but it works, and whatever breaks inside, you can fix and rebuild. It's not a big deal. You don't have to go out and spend $1,200, $1,300 on a Benelli Supernova. You can, and everybody wants to, and I will eventually someday too. But if you're just starting out, or you're not sure if you're gonna like doing this or not, stick with the cheap shit, guys. It's not that bad. This gun was awesome. It performed great when I went and trap shooted it. I patterned it with some Winchester Super X's, and no complaints whatsoever. It's been great. So again, guys, this is it. Keeping it cheap, keeping it simple. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Add a C at the end of it, keeping it cheap. Easy, guys, not a big deal. I've picked up, you know, and you can find around, you know, get on Facebook, get on your Waterfowl pages and talk to people. You'll see and find people that have things for sale that they don't need anymore. I picked up 4 dozen goose floaters from a buddy that I work with that he just doesn't need anymore. They're a little beat up. 4 dozen goose floaters for 150 bucks. That's insane, guys. No, the heads aren't flocked. No, they're not rigged. You can rig them for cheap. And you know, yeah, they're not the greatest looking decoys, but by the time the birds get that close and they realize, like, oh, geez, that decoy looks like shit, you should be killing them anyway. So to me, it doesn't really matter. Just, you know, garage sales are great too, guys. You never know what you're going to find. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. This is the keeping it cheap and simple. If you guys want a shirt like this one, oh, that's another thing. I got my confirmation email yesterday. I'm officially a pro staff member of Ducks Waterfowl. Thanks, Bobby Guy Films. Big shout out to him. Like I said, guys, earlier in the video, go check out his page. You can follow him on Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. It's just my name, Justin Flannery. I haven't got a Waterfowl Facebook page set up yet. You can find me on Snapchat, MC_Irish91, MickIrish91. Follow me on Snapchat. And if you guys want a t-shirt like this, it's going to be hard to see, so I'm not going to bother turning it around, but it's got ducks cupped up coming in, and they're red, white, and blue. They're really cool. If you guys want a gun barrel sticker like this one, or they have ones that say #IHuntDucks. They've got call-lanyards, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, bottle openers. I mean, just really cool stuff. Go check out DUX, Ducks, waterfowlco.com. Check them out. You know, support the channel for Bobby. And he's ultimately supporting me because I've become a pro staff member for him. So get you a cool shirt, and happy hunting. Teal season's going to open here for us here real soon. So you're going to have some cool hunting content coming your guys' way. I'm going to try and get a couple more videos done in between then. And thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the like button anyways, because who cares? Drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you guys want to see anything specific for the next one. If not, maybe we'll do a trap shooting video. Who knows? We'll figure something out. But thanks again for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Drop me a comment below. Let me know you enjoyed the video. And we'll catch you on the next one.